Naughty mess. Cocky fresh. Givenchy dress.
Okay, so girl, this video is long overdue. I don't even know. I feel like my camera is crooked. I don't know what's going on. I can't see myself, but I just had to film this video because, oh my god, like, I get this question so many times. How do I avoid flashback? Oh my god, I get flashback. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I look ashy, I'm ashy, I'm ashy, I'm ashy. How I get flat? Like literally all the time. Like especially my Snapchat fam. Like shorty hit me up on Snapchat. Shorty, that means like a girl, a chick, New York talk. So a girl would hit me up on Snapchat like, oh my god, how do I avoid flashback? You know, I'm so ashy. And I'll literally be like, send me a picture. You know how dudes be like, send me a pic. So I say, send me a pic, and I look at the picture and I say, I think it's the powder. I think the concealer might be too light, or it looks like the powder was too light, or what did you use? So this is something that I feel like I keep having this conversation on Instagram and on Snapchat with my people. So I'm like, let me just do a YouTube video about this because I get so many questions on how I avoid flashback, and I honestly feel like I don't do anything special. I have been a victim of flashback in the past, so my mirror is in front of me. That's why I'm looking, because I'm so hot in this sweater. Like this sweater is so warm, but it's pink, so I want to be cute. But yeah, let's get into this. All right, step one. So for step one, you want to, after you have applied your foundation, of course, you want to go in under your eye with a concealer, because this is like the most important step on how not to be ashy, aside for your foundation color being the right color, of course. But that's another conversation for another video. We're talking about how not to look ashy from concealer and baking and setting and all of that. So your concealer, you want to make sure you're using the right concealer shade. Okay, we're not using something too light, we're not using something too yellow, we're not using something too pink. We have to go out and find the right concealer color for us, and we have to find out what works for us. So everybody knows, well, not everybody, if you're new to my channel, hey girl. So my favorite concealer is the Double Wear Estee Lauder foundation. It looks like this. It comes in a tube. It is a yellow base concealer, and you will see it when I apply it. In the past, I've used NW40, which is more of a pinky tone, which I can get away with as well, but I just like this one more because I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I like this one more because it's a little bit more yellow, and I just prefer that these days. But here are a few more shades. These are the LA Pro concealers, which are very popular, very accessible, and very affordable. So for me, I don't feel like I have one particular shade from LA Pro. I usually just mix my colors. I'll pick up Toast and Fawn and mix it together. But you're not going to be my complexion and say, okay, today I'm going to highlight with medium beige. Like, that's not what we're going to do. I feel like Fawn doesn't work for me because it's way too yellow. And of course, dark cocoa, you're just not going to be highlighted. Like, so you have to find the right, which is nothing special. But you do want to make sure your concealer is blended out, and I'm going to be using my handy dandy beauty blender, my Real Techniques blender. So one thing that I do is I don't bring my I don't do all of that. Like, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. All of that. I don't do all of that. I don't do all of this, all of that, or no. I do right here and right here. That's all we need. The beauty blender will spread it out to wherever you need it. But honestly, I feel like we're not Kim K, and we don't need our highlighter under our nose and scooping back up. No, that's half of our face. We want to keep our skin tone. You want to be brown, right? You don't want to be ashy. So keep your under eye highlight under your eye. Keep your under eye highlight under your eye. Okay? Okay. So usually what I would do, sometimes I'll let my concealer sit up there a little bit, just so it can get a little bit tacky, because I do like a fuller coverage under my eye because I have dark circles under my eyes. So of course I want full coverage. So you see how I took the concealer that was underneath my eye and I dragged it all the way across, but I didn't need to apply it there, to have it there. You feel me? That way you can kind of control how much concealer you actually need. What I do, I always believe that it's kind of like when you're cooking. Like, if you add little by little, you'll be fine, right? Like, say you're making a soup and you're adding a little bit of salt, little by little, just to make sure it's seasoned the right way, right? But what if you put a whole bunch of salt? You just effed up. Your salt is all over your soup. Your soup is salty. Nobody want to eat your salt. Nobody want to eat your soup. That's how I feel about concealer. Don't add a whole bunch of concealer all over your face, because nobody gonna want to talk to you. They gonna clown you. So I'll always add a little bit more under my eye. I put a little bit too much right there. I got distracted. I can't talk and do makeup. And yeah, so ignore this eye. That's a little bit too much. I didn't need all of that right there. But I will usually just add a little bit more right in this area, right where I have that dark little pocket. Let it sit for a little bit. Maybe add some contour, but I've already contoured before this video, so I would let this sit, add some contour, check my Instagram, let it get a little bit tacky, and then go in and blend it out again. Now, if you don't like a fuller coverage underneath your eye, that's completely understandable, and you don't have to, you know, add extra concealer. I mean, or you can just add all the coverage you want in one step and blend it all out. I don't like to do that. I like to add in layers. That's how I do my makeup, in layers. So to each his own. But I like this especially for beginners, because it teaches a person how much product they may or may not need. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, just want to make sure you blend it all out. Now we look alive. And so the next important step is, of course, our powder. Like, hello, powder. Oh my god, like, we could talk about setting powders for days. I'm actually gonna do a video on setting powders and baking and setting all that. That's another conversation for another video. So today I'm gonna be using the Sacha Buttercup. Y'all know I love Sacha Buttercup. Yeah, like, I really love it. I use it in my kit. I use it on other clients. I only use it on myself. I love it. Like, it works on everybody. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so like I was saying, a lot of the times when my Snap fam is hitting me up, they're not using the right powder. You know what I'm saying? Like, every powder, it looks cute and it sounds cute, but it's not cute. So I'm gonna apply my powder with my beauty blender. So I'm tapping in, and this how much you know, picks up. I always blow off the excess powder. Now with me, again, less is more, especially the more deeper your skin tone is. Listen, I done seen girls do a lot of things. I've seen girls darker than me, my complexion, pack on a lot of powder. I mean, it's really fun to do and you look really cute, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just not cute. It's not cute because it gets cakey, it looks dry, it looks bad in pictures. Like, yeah, we can edit our pictures for it to look cute, but this is for my everyday girls. Like, we trying to be cute out here. We're not trying to be ashy. Like, I don't know where y'all be going with all that powder underneath your eye. And for some people it works. Like, for some people it really works, but for most people it don't. And I'm most people. A little bit of powder, and we're just gonna we're just gonna press underneath the eye. That's all you, girl. That's all you need. I'm telling you. You really do not have to OD. And then after I add that initial first layer, I just go in where I know it's a little bit darker underneath my eyes. So as you can see, there's powder flying all over the place. Depending on your eye or depending on where you want your highlight, you can focus more powder. So for me, I have dark circles right here, so I focus most of my product in this area. But yeah, like, that's all you need. I do take the powder and I press it into my forehead a little bit. I don't really do my nose like that because I do a little bit because I just don't like how that line looks on your nose. Like, I contour my nose, but I do not highlight down the bridge. Like, no. And I also take a little bit underneath my contour after I add my my powder contour. So step 1, matter of fact, let's start initially. So of course we're just gonna do a little retract here because people get distracted. It's all right. We're gonna recap. We're gonna bring it back. Make sure you have on your correct foundation shade. Make sure you have on your correct foundation shade. Make sure you have on your correct foundation shade. Make sure you have on your correct concealer shade. Make sure it is blended in. Make sure you do not have too much on. Make sure it is not on that half of your face. Make sure it is your under eye highlight and not your whole face highlight. And that's, you know, how you don't look ashy. You want an under eye highlight, not a full face highlight. Okay. Also, make sure you're using the right setting powder. Sacha Buttercup is very brown girl approved, and that's the one that I use most of the time. Laura Mercier I have used in the past. I just ordered the darker shade. It's in the mail, so when I get it, I'll make another video on it. Black Opal, Derma. What is it? Derma. It's another brand. I can't think of the name of it. Cover FX, Makeup Forever. These are all brands that have setting powders that are brown girl friendly, but Sacha Cosmetics for me is absolutely foolproof. I love it. Another thing you do not want to bake for ever and ever and ever. You don't want to go in the kitchen, make a scene. No, we're not baking for that long, especially depending on how your skin is. If your skin is really, really dry, or if your skin is really, really oily. So if your skin is really, really dry, you would have wiped this off already. I'm somewhere in the middle. For whatever reason, I can get away with, you know, leaving the powder on my face for a little bit longer. Like, that's just my skin. But I still don't like to because I have textured skin. My skin is not 100% smooth, so me letting powder sit on my face really does not benefit me that much. So I don't like to bake for that long. So to move this process along, I'm actually going to just add my contour, and I'm gonna be back. Alright, so the next step is really, really important. You want to, okay, for my brush, you want to remove the powder from underneath your eyes, and you want to do it in a way that's going to leave you flawless. So I find that just dusting away isn't always, it just isn't always foolproof. Sometimes I like to actually press in the powder. I tend to do that in the warmer months because it's really, really hot outside, and I know that my face is gonna melt. So I'm going to bake more. Honestly, I add more powder in the summertime, but it's winter time, so we're gonna stick to, you know, right now. We're not even gonna get into all that. That's another video. That's another conversation for another video. Okay, so sometimes, you know, you can press in your powder, or you can use a brush. This is what I've been doing a lot lately. This is the Sephora number 79 brush. It looks like this. It's like a little dome brush. This is actually, I think it's a contour brush. I don't use it for contour. I have a Morphe brush that's kind of like a dupe for it that I use as a contour, and this Morphe brush, no, this is Crown, honey, I'm sorry, this is a Crown brush, and this is C530, and it looks like this next to the Sephora brush, so they're pretty identical. I use this one to contour and this one for my under eye. So what I like to do is take a face powder, and this is the NYX No Filter, I'm sorry, I like the name of that. The NYX No Filter Finishing Powder, which looks like this. It looks a lot like the MAC MSF, and that's what I was using before to do this technique. The camera is washing out the color of this powder because the powder is the same color as my face. So you want to do this with something that's similar to your face tone. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of the powder on the brush and kind of like I'm pressing it in. So I'm doing a press and sweep, and I'm being really gentle about it because I kind of want, I don't want the impact of the highlight to go anywhere, but I don't want it to be harsh at the same time. You feel me? So that's what it looks like. I personally feel like when you remove your powder, you'll know if you've made a mistake because you'll look a little bit lighter. And that's okay because you can still fix it with this technique. If this technique doesn't help, we're going to fix it in the next step. So don't worry. So this is how it looks. And I'm going to go ahead and bake underneath my contour real quick. I just take the bottom half of the sponge, which is like a flat surface, blow off the excess, I can't say that word, excess, I can't say that word, the extra powder, and I'm just gonna gently, same thing I did, I do go in a little bit heavier underneath. And you want to drag that down a little bit. You do not just want to do a line underneath your contour. Ladies, don't just do a line, because when you go to wipe it away, that line is just going to be there. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, it's just a line underneath your contour. Like, it's just not the best way to go out, you know? Like, it's just no good. It's best to have a thick, you see that? I'm not good at math. Is that an inch or two? From your contour to your jawline, you want to have that powder. You do not want to just have that powder up there, because no, that's not the wave. Don't do it. I'm just pressing the powder in my forehead because my forehead gets really oily, so I can just literally press that in to my forehead so that my forehead is just matte. Like, I don't highlight my forehead because it gets really shiny. Okay, and same thing I did underneath my eye. There's powder flying. There's literally a cloud of powder just flying. I can't see. I don't know how I look and I can't see, but okay, so I'm gonna once again take the same NYX no filter powder with my Sephora brush, and I'm just gonna, what is that? And I'm just gonna dust it off. Now, do you ladies see why I say don't just put a line underneath? Because you see how we didn't even let that set for that long. I don't let it sit underneath my contour for that long, but you see how it just naturally leaves that line right there. Imagine if you were to just put your powder there. There will be a line underneath that, and that's not okay. Don't do that. Like, please. I love y'all. I do. But I want y'all gotta stop. Don't do that. And usually once I do that, I mean, it's a little weird. I don't know. I feel like when I do that, it defines my contour and takes away from my contour at the same time. So I always go in after that with more contour. Hairs everywhere. Just to kind of define my contour. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like for whatever reason, it takes away from what I already laid down. So I always go in and just add more. That could be because I'm extra. I mean, I don't know. Okay. So the next important step is going to be your setting spray. This is very important because the spray This spray is going to just bring everything all together. So you want to use the right spray for your skin type. If you have dry skin, you want to use a spray that's going to hydrate. If you have oily skin, you want to use a spray that's going to set and you know, soak up any oiliness. Either way, whatever setting spray you use, it is going to just bring everything together. So sprays like Make It Forever, Mist and Fix sprays like Max Fix Plus. I have a few here. So I have mine are empty. I have the Smashbox Primer Water, which is empty. I love this one very much. This is for all skin tones. I mean, all skin types. It's all oil-free and alcohol-free and silicone-free. So it's for anybody who's dry, combination, or oily. This is amazing. I love this stuff. The Mahogany Make It Last. This is actually new. Yeah, used all of it. Love it very much. I really love this. It says Prime, Correct, and Set 16-hour wear. I don't know if I would say if you have oily skin, you know, run, jump, and get it, but it's amazing. I loved it. I use it on my eyelashes, for my eyeshadows, and I use it on my face, and I loved it. Like, it smells good, and I love it. The one I'm gonna be using is the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. This is the one I'm using. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it does what it says, and it brings everything together. I personally feel like since I did all the steps correctly, and if I didn't set my face, I would not have flashback. I don't look ashy on camera, and I wouldn't look ashy if I was to take a picture because I've done all appropriate steps. But to ensure that everything is blended in and meshed well together, you know, like when you add the sauce to the spaghetti noodles, it's not spaghetti until you do that. Your face may not be popping until you finish it up with some spray. So I'm gonna spray. I don't know why I have an analogy for everything. I'm gonna spray. And depending on, you know, who you are, some people spray their face until it's like drenched. Like, people spray their face until it's drenched. Sometimes I do that if I feel like I was a little bit too heavy with something, which is, you know, a little bit often because I'm heavy-handed sometimes. You spray a lot. If you feel like, you know, you did okay, you don't have to spray that much. So while my setting spray is setting, I'm just gonna be quick and add a quick little highlight, nothing too serious. I'm gonna just do a natural highlight. I'm using my e.l.f. So these e.l.f. highlights don't have names. It's called Gem Blush, but there's 3 of them. I'm using the darkest shade, which is like a, I don't know, it kind of looks mauvey. They have one that looks like a light pink, one that's like a white gold, and this is like a mauvey. So I'm gonna highlight and I'm going to be back to resume the video. Okay, so I'm back, I'm done. I have a little bit of highlight on, not too much, but yeah. So let's go over the steps again. First step, please make sure you have on the right foundation color, honey, because if your foundation is off, everything gonna be off, especially if it's too light, girl. You're gonna look ashy no matter what you do after that. So make sure you have your right foundation shade, okay? Second step is going to be make sure you have your right concealer shade and don't add too much. Do not highlight the half of your face, honey. Only highlight underneath your eyes, okay? Third step is going to be to have the right baking powder or setting powder for your skin tone and your skin type. My personal favorite would be the Sacha Buttercup because it's, in my experience, it's foolproof. Don't use too much of it. Don't be heavy-handed. I know it looks fun and it's cute, and you see a lot of girls on Instagram and YouTube doing it, but no, everybody is, it just don't work for everybody, girl. Like, girl, do what work for you, and for you, not a lot, because honey, we ain't trying to look cakey and ashy out here. No. And the last step is, I mean, no, not the last step. Girl, I just distracted myself. So, you know, after we've established the baking step, which is 1, 2, 3, so we're on the third step. You want to, you know, kind of do a press and sweep, and you want to do that with a brush that kind of has your foundation shade on it. So I like to do that because I feel like it gives me a very natural finish. And then the fourth step would be to set your makeup with your setting spray. And then that's it. Like, that's how I avoid flashback. Some of you may notice that I did not use the powder all over my face. That is not something that I do all the time. That is something, if you have to do it because you get oily, or you have to do it because you like the finish of it, you can incorporate that into your routine after you finish step 3. So you want to do your setting powder after your you want to do your setting powder before you do your setting spray. On most days I don't do both. On most days I'll I'm thinking on most days I'll do like a setting powder and I won't do my setting spray, because on most days I'm in school and on most days I don't wear makeup. So yeah, like I think I prefer a setting. I want to say I prefer the setting. Girl, do both. Just make sure you do that setting spray, girl. But yeah, I wanted to come on because I get this so many times. I get pictures, I get crazy pictures, and I love you guys, but sometimes I really want to screenshot it because it's just so funny. Like, sometimes it's like you guys look like memes, like literally memes. Like, but I hope this video helped. I hope this video answered a lot of questions for you guys, and maybe, you know, I taught you something new. I hope I did. I want my YouTube platform to be like girl chat, and I want to share like my tips and stuff, you know. Like, I got so much inside of me and I just want to get it out. So thank you guys for watching. I know that I took a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube. One of my lights actually broke, so this video might be dark, so that's why I stopped filming, because my lighting is off. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys want to see. So my options are going to be a full face of makeup using NYX foundation, primer, eyebrow, concealer, powder. A video on that, because I do want to start a Slay and Save series, or a video on how to do cut crease on hooded eyes. If my Instagram fam is watching this video, I already know what's gonna win. I know y'all want to see that cut crease video, but don't worry, it's coming regardless. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.